Hey, it's Mark here, and welcome to the next edition of the Employee Survival Guide, where I tell you, as always, what your employer does definitely not want you to know about, and a lot more. Welcome back to the Employee Survival Guide, the podcast that arms you, the employee, with the truth that your employer hopes you never hear. I'm your host, Mark Carey, an employment lawyer, workplace rights advocate extraordinaire, the guy who's been warning you about AI washing for a few years. If you caught Monday's bloodbath in a Wall Street Journal, you already felt the tremor. Single Substack post published over the weekend, a 7,000-word hypothetical memo dated June 30th, 2028, reportedly helped send the Dow Jones down more than 800 points in a single trading day. That's huge. The piece is called the 2028 Global Intelligence Crisis, or a GIC for short, they're calling it, from Centrini Research. It is explicitly labeled a thought experiment, not a prediction, but the markets didn't care. They read it and freaked out because it hits the exact nerve we've been talking about on the show. What happens when AI gets so good, so fast, that it doesn't just assist white-collar work, it replaces the humans who used to do it, and the economy that depends on those humans spending money. Today, we're breaking down for you the employee, not the investor, not the C-suite executive, just you, as always. Because when the feedback loop described in this report kicks in, the first people to feel it are the ones showing up to the office every day. The hypothetical scenario is written as a macro memo from mid-2028 looking backwards. It starts in late 2025 with the arrival of the truly agentic AI coding tools, the kind that don't just autocomplete, they build entire market SaaS products in weeks. Suddenly, every procurement manager can threaten their vendor, build it in-house with Claude Code or WeWalk. Vendors slash prices or die. Companies realize they can cut 15 to 30% of their white-collar headcount, which we're actually seeing right now. Pour the savings straight back into the more GPUs and better models, and the cycle accelerates. The authors call it the human intelligence displacement spiral. I don't make this stuff up. AI gets better, companies need fewer people, spending drops, margins get squeezed harder, and more AI agents get bought. Repeat. No natural break in existence. By 2026, 2027, you see mass layoffs in software, customer success, financial analysis, legal document review, real estate transactions, insurance underwriting, tax prep, even parts of consulting. New prompt engineer or AI wrangler jobs appear, but they pay a fraction of the six-figure roles that they replaced. Displaced 180,000 salaried product managers are driving Ubers for $45,000 a year. White-collar unemployment spikes. Consumer spending, 70% of the U.S. economy collapses. They even coined the term ghost GDP. The computers are producing more output than ever, but the money isn't flowing through human pockets anymore. Unemployment hits 10%. Markets crash hard. Again, this is just a fiction. It's something that they have dreamt up, but it was plausible enough to move markets on Monday, 800 points. A single article. It's just fascinating to watch. And every single trend it describes is already visible in 2026. So what are your takeaways here? Three big ones. The jobs most at risk are the ones that used to be safe or feel safe. Knowledge work. Maybe that's my work, legal work. Middle management, anything that can be turned into prompts and agents. Now, I don't think you can turn legal work into prompts or agents, but who knows? We really just don't know. The window to prepare is closing faster than most people think. The report says the spiral started with coding tools in late 2025. We are already inside the early innings of this game. 3, waiting for your company to reskill you is a terrible plan. Companies are already using AI to cut costs, not create better jobs for you. That's why we did the most recent episode called AI washing, the practice of blaming layoffs on AI when it's really just a headcount reduction dressed up in buzzwords. If you're in software engineering, project management, analyst roles, customer support, scripting, legal ops, marketing, automation, HR analytics, financial modeling, or anything that lives in spreadsheets or Slack, listen closely. Your role is being productized, if that was such a word. Signs your job could be next. Your company has just announced a big AI partnership or internal agent pilot. Headcount is flat or dying or down while revenue is up. Vendors you rely on are offering massive discounts powered by AI. Tasks you used to own suddenly being handled by tools that didn't exist 6 months ago. Leadership starts talking about efficiency ratios and span of control in every town hall. If 3 or more of these are true, you are in the danger zone. Okay, enough doom. Let's talk about survival and actually thriving. Here's your practical action plan, the same framework I give you my own clients who are starring at the AI disruption. I should say staring at the AI disruption. Run your personal AI vulnerability audit. List every task you do in a normal week. Rate each one 1 to 10 on how easily an AI agent can do it. 80% of it in 12 to 18 months. Kind of predict that. And be brutally honest. The ones scoring 8+ are your exit ramps. 2, become dangerously good at AI. Again, I keep on warning people to become super users. I am a super user. I saw that phrase in Wall Street Journal a few months back. You may be one too. These devices are incredibly intelligent, fast, and our skill sets are increasing very, very quickly, mine included. I've even used this an AI device to help me create this episode for you. So everyone's using it. So become a super user. Stop treating AI like a toy. Treat it like the coworker who never sleeps and costs very little money per month. Spend the time with the different devices, agents, and then document. When you review, the time comes, you can say you had more output for your boss and you're worth more with using this device. Double down on your skills in AI because AI, it sucks. It doesn't do the following things. It doesn't have emotional intelligence. It can't make or have difficult conversations. You can't problem solve with creativity, solving ambiguous high-stakes situations. People do that. Lawyers do that. Physical world judgment, trades, healthcare, and on-site leadership. I was just in the hospital today getting a routine test done. Don't think an AI could have done what those people had done to me on a CT scan. Ethical decisions, making and accountability. I don't think that can happen yet. They're trying. But again, they're putting humans in the programming of the ethical dilemma or moral issues, trying to train it that way. I don't know. How's that going to work? Building trust and influence across humans, they definitely can't do that. The highest paid, safest roles right now combine AI fluency with these human superpowers. Yeah, they're superpowers, I guess, if you want to see it that way. Think AI-savvy nurse practitioners, cybersecurity architects who also brief executives, product leaders who can say no to the AI hype when it hurts customers, therapists, skilled electricians who install the data centers powering all this AI, teachers who design curriculum around AI tools instead of competing with them. Build your own financial moat to prepare in the event that you are AI washed out. You need some cash and update your resume. I want to be very clear. I'm not an anti-AI. I use it every day. As I've said, I use it for many of these episodes. Many of the case episodes you hear about, they're produced by AI. I use it in the show. I use it in my law practice, although we have constraints ethically on how we can use it. The future can be abundant if we force the gains to be shared. But right now, the incentives are all on the cost-cutting side for employers. That's why the treating scenario hits so hard. It shows what happens when we let the loop run unchecked. It's a pretty wild story. I encourage you to read it. So you as the employee have more power than you think. You can actually vote with your feet, upskill faster than your employer expects, demand transparency when they roll it out, those AI pilots, and support policies that tax AI windfalls just to fund the transition. If you're facing AI-related performance pressure, forced ranking, or sudden restructuring, my firm, Karen Associates, handles these cases every week. We're used to this process. The link to our website is in the show notes. Thank you for spending some time with me, allowing me to be of service with you, as always. Thanks. Hey, it's Mark, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Employee Survival Guide. If you'd like to be interviewed for our podcast and share your story about what you're going through at work and do so anonymously, please send me an email at mcarey@capclaw.com. And also, if you like this podcast episode and others like it, please leave us a review. It really does help others find this podcast. So leave a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast. Thank you very much. And Glad to be of service to you.